For nearly a century, the word mafia has conjured images of shadowy figures, coded conversations, and an underground world thriving just beneath the surface of ordinary life. From the bustling streets of New York City to the sun-drenched hills of Sicily, organized crime syndicates once wielded vast power, influencing everything from politics and law enforcement to legitimate businesses and pop culture. But as we step deeper into the 21st century, a pressing question emerges. Is this the end of the mafia as we know it? Or has it simply evolved, adapting to the modern world in ways that are harder to detect but just as impactful? To understand the present, we must look back at the past. The mafia's golden age, especially in the United States, stretched from the Prohibition era through the latter part of the 20th century. The Cosa Nostra, with its infamous 5 families, ran rackets ranging from gambling and loan sharking to labor unions and construction. In Italy, the Sicilian Mafia, the Camorra in Naples, and the 'Ndrangheta from Calabria held entire regions in their grip, moving billions in illicit money and instilling fear through violence and intimidation. But the turn of the millennium brought winds of change. Law enforcement agencies began collaborating across borders, deploying advanced surveillance and financial tracking technologies. High-profile trials and the testimony of turncoats, or pentiti, shattered omerta, the code of silence, leading to thousands of arrests and convictions. The public, once cowed into silence, began to resist, with anti-mafia activists gaining traction and communities rallying against the violence that had plagued them for generations. Yet, while the mafia's old-world structure has been battered, it would be a mistake to declare victory too soon. The reality is more complex and, in some ways, more unsettling. The 21st century mafia is less likely to resemble the family-run operations of the past. Instead, it has diversified, decentralized, and become far more sophisticated. Traditional rackets like extortion and protection have given way to white-collar crimes, cybercrime, money laundering, and infiltration of public contracts. Mafia groups have adapted to globalization, using shell companies and offshore accounts to move and launder money with unprecedented ease. Moreover, the mafia is no longer just an Italian or American phenomenon. Transnational organized crime has become a global enterprise, linking cartels in Latin America, human trafficking networks in Eastern Europe, and drug syndicates in Asia. Communication technology, encrypted messaging, and cryptocurrencies have provided new tools that make detection and prosecution more challenging than ever before. Despite these challenges, there are signs of hope. International cooperation has led to major busts, asset seizures, and the disruption of vast criminal networks. Civil society, journalists, and grassroots organizations continue to shine a light on mafia activity, refusing to let fear dictate their lives. In Italy, properties confiscated from mafia bosses have been transformed into community centers, farms, and businesses, turning symbols of oppression into beacons of renewal. Still, the fight is far from over. The mafia thrives in environments where distrust, poverty, and corruption persist. As long as there are markets for illicit goods, weak institutions, and communities left behind by economic progress, the conditions for organized crime will remain. But the mafia's hold is no longer absolute. The myth of its invincibility has been shattered, replaced by a growing sense that ordinary people, armed with education, technology, and courage, can make a difference. So, is this the end of the mafia? Not quite. The organization may not dominate headlines as it once did, but it has not disappeared. It has transformed. The real battle is understanding this transformation and staying vigilant. Only then can we hope to consign the mafia in all its forms to the pages of history.